Hi, me again. Just wanted to say hey and thank everybody for who shot me a note about it. I did have an ear infection when I was doing the last video, but yeah, that seems to have abated a little bit, and I'm feeling much better now. Thank you. I really appreciate your well wishes. A couple of people even said they were praying for me, and while I don't believe in prayer, I do really appreciate the fact that someone cares enough for me to, implore their deity to smile upon me. I'm even more grateful that I had amoxicillin, but still, it's kind of a cool thing. So let's go ahead and see what's on the slate. Oh, yikes. Um, I thought we weren't doing any more um, religion videos, and that's kind of a touchy one. Oh, okay. I can see the difference there, but still, I don't know all Muslims. Okay, I can do that, but why would I have to answer anything like that? Oh, right. Thunderfoot made a video that some Muslims thought was a little bit salacious, and it actually did get a little bit to the point of a challenge. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gearing up for it. Give me a chance here, all right? What? Yeah, yeah, we're still cool. I just don't understand why I have to address things of religion when I'm a psychologist. So, yeah, okay, okay, I can see that. All right, let's go. Okay, let's see. I studied under an imam for 4 months, so I did get a chance to study the Quran. Um, and I need to point out that a lot of people tend to lump all Muslims into the same bucket, and that's not accurate. Um, there are passages in the Judeo-Christian ethic, and well, specifically in the Bible and the Torah, the Old Testament, uh, going into how to behave in war. And that's what a lot of people take to heart because they perceive that they're at war with us. I think a lot of the problems is words and perceptions. Um, Usually, when we hear someone from a society that believes that they're at war with us, or a fanatic fringe that believes they're at war with us for one reason or another, normally because we occupy territory that they don't think we should be in, the first thing they'll do is they'll call us the Great Satan. And I think that people need to understand that they're not calling us the devil at that point. Satan actually means enemy. And they think that they're being victimized by us and our ways. And I know a lot of Christians who think the same thing. I think a lot of people also get into the pissing contest of my God is better than your God, which is a little bit ironic because both of them are the God of Abraham. I mean, I know people who don't even realize that Jesus is in the Quran and is recognized as a prophet, but not the Son of God. So it's kind of interesting if you put into context all the Muslims that I know who live in our secular society. We are talking about people who are fiercely patriotic about the United States. We're talking about people who really believe in community spirit, and not just toward other Muslims either. They believe in trying to help people whenever possible to a point where I don't even back some of the ways that they do it. If you're in the middle of being robbed and you find out that the guy is just doing it because he's hungry, even if you can get the upper hand, you give him food. I mean, that's their way. Um, they believe a lot of things which are really beautiful, and it comes down to the problem with any religion, which is when people start cherry picking justification for what they want to do. If I'm really mad at this guy, then I want to find a way that I can say it's morally okay to hurt him or kill him, and that's not good. And that's where you get your radical fringe. A lot of people just paint with a wide brush the idea that Muslims are violent. But the irony of that is it specifically says in the Quran, violence is wrong. And the entire concept of these rules of war that a lot of the fundamentalists will throw out to justify terrorism, that's actually very specific terminology for a very specific situation, usually one in which someone's trying to destroy them. So their day-to-day ideals are save people. If you save one innocent person, you've saved the world. If you kill one innocent person, you've killed the world, all of mankind. That's how the view is supposed to be. Um, I can honestly say that there is a lot more reverence for the idea of a community. It's considered proud and sinful to have a big tombstone. Just something on that, I believe, and again, I'm going off of memory on this, but I believe you can't have a tombstone that's any higher than your ankle. The idea being, take that money and put it back in to actually help somebody, not to glorify yourself. And people just take it and go wild with it. Now, when I've talked to some people about this, they say, well, why don't all these, moderate Muslims reel in these fundamentalists who are blowing shit up? Well, that's great. How do you do that? If a person is so committed to an idea that they're willing to die and kill for it, it's really hard. I mean, and this is coming from a psychologist, it's really hard to talk them out of it. The first thing you have to do is show them that these are people and these are innocent people and they don't hate you. It's kind of hard to do because, like I've mentioned in one other video before, one of my Muslim friends was actually beaten with their own flag. He's an American citizen. He was beaten with his own flag after 9/11. It's a scary situation. It's an easy one to fall into. It's easy to hate and it's easy to generalize. But I mean, I've seen it work toward the betterment of a community. I've seen it work to the detriment, just like Christianity. And I can honestly say that, if you really believe it's that easy to reel in the fundamentalists, then why doesn't anybody, shut up the Westboro Baptist Church from showing up at people's funerals picketing? Those people don't represent most of the Christians I've ever met, and yet they're Christian. So if you put someone in a position where they have to answer for those that they don't agree with, it really gets dicey fast. Um, I do believe that there's a place for Muslims in America. I believe there's a place for everyone in America. The rules are the same, though. It's the same rules for everybody. The the step away that I have there, the things that I genuinely don't like. I don't like the fact that under Sharia law, which again, in a moderate Christian, I'm sorry, in a moderate Muslim's mind, is overridden by the law of the land, which is the United States law. But under Sharia law, the moral law, the thing that gives us all these honor killings that we hear about those a lot more than I think we would hear about them if it was a Christian doing them. We don't really hear about the deaths from other things as often as we should. I mean, unless it's fashionable, we don't hear about people shooting at abortion doctors, even though there are people who will fully admit that they want to or have. Um, the main idea is that we can get along. I don't like under Sharia law the punishment for apostasy, which is leaving the religion, is death. I don't like that under Sharia law it is wrong to contextualize the Quran because there's a lot of war in the Quran. They were in a fight at that point. They were fighting for their lives. They were being squeezed out. I don't like the fact that anti-Semitism is part of the Quran. But I also don't like the fact that the Jews are blamed for the death of Jesus in the Bible. Uh, it's something where we need to put that into perspective and understand that we all need to get along, or else we're fucked. I mean, it's that simple. It's be good to each other. Don't be a jackwagon to everyone. It's it's something so easy to get around. just follow the law of the land. Preferably, if you want to seek knowledge, study science, and use scripture in a non-literal way to take care of metaphysics. That would be my ideal. However, you're free to choose whatever you want, and I don't know a violent Muslim. I know a couple of angry ones who feel persecuted, but normally they feel persecuted because people like Larry the Cable Guy call them ragheads, and that's not cool. That's not right. Um, I can get behind some of the things that Pat Condell points out. However, that's about individual situations. I don't think that Sharia law is something that should override the law of the land. Um, I don't think that Orthodox Jewish law should override the law of the land. I don't think anything should override the law of the land because the law of the land is for everybody. At that point, beyond that, decide what you want. But I do think it's something where I find it stunning that we can go freedom is for everyone unless you're gay or this particular religion that I don't like or these people that I'm threatened by. You can't do that. Now, if these people break the law, just nail them like you would anyone else. And that goes for Christian, atheists, Muslim. It's it's a matter of respect and the full basis of don't be a dick. I don't participate in the, draw Muhammad Day because I feel that that's sort of like taunting. It's almost like revenge. And revenge really doesn't get you anywhere. In fact, usually that's the car that brought us to the dance we're in now. And it's not something that's good. But yeah, I think we should look at the things that we agree on. Feed the hungry, heal the sick, clothe the poor. It's something that we can get behind, and it's something that we can do. I think we need to start viewing people as individuals again, and quit stereotyping everyone. And it's actually what we do a lot of. We need to hold that mirror up to ourselves and reverse that situation. What if someone said that about me? Um, and that's something that I think everyone can endorse. That's my opinion. And again, this isn't really an Ask a Scientist piece. Someone asked me to throw out my view of Muslims to see if I was, hating on them. I really don't. When I said I don't hate on religions, I don't hate on anything but Scientology, and that's because they hate me first. So, ta-da! Uh, go shop at Exotic Envy. I don't even know how to work that in with a Muslim thing. Um, but yeah, go shop at exoticenvy.com. They have a bunch of adult toys, and if you're over 18, they have extremely good prices and all that stuff. Till next time, try to be nice and don't be a chode.